unlike any other at Walt Disney World. Disney's Contemporary Resort, truly a classic icon here at Walt Disney World. Today we are going to dive into the history of this amazing resort. Disney's Contemporary Resort opened October 1st, 1971. Along with the rest of Walt Disney World, it's one of the two original resorts along with the Polynesian Village Resort. The structure itself is extremely unique. They used an A-frame structure where it looks like a giant A from the bottom to the top. The Contemporary Resort is home to some fantastic dining options like Contempo Cafe, the California Grill, Chef Mickey's, Outer Rim, and the Wave of American Flavor. One of the favorite dining experiences here at Walt Disney World and at the Contemporary Resort is Chef Mickey's, where you have the opportunity to eat great food and meet with some of your favorite characters as they're cooking the food with you, kind of in their chef outfit. As magical as it is, believe it or not, it wasn't always called Chef Mickey's. It used to be called the Contemporary Cafe up until that name change in 1995. Chef Mickey's was originally located at Disney's Village Marketplace, currently known as Disney Springs. After extensive modifications and updates, the Chef Mickey's at Disney's Village Marketplace became Rainforest Cafe. It opened in 1996, and it's the same one in that location that we know today. It opened a few days before Christmas, December 22nd, 1995, and it's been here ever since. Disney's Contemporary Resort is likely best known for the monorail that passes directly through the resort at all hours of the day. The monorail is so quiet that it can pass right behind us, and it's not that loud. It was actually designed that way. It was made so that guests could be sleeping all hours of the day, and the train running through the resort wouldn't disturb them. The monorail is more than just a fun means of transportation around Walt Disney World. It was actually the first of its kind. Of course, it wasn't the first monorail in history. I'm talking about the first of its kind ever to go through a resort and also stop and pick up guests at a resort. It was the first ever to do that. Disney's Contemporary Resort was designed with many different factors in mind. One of those was the guest experience as they're staying in this very unique resort. The Imagineers who built the Contemporary Resort took a lot of inspiration from cruise ships. You may be saying to yourself, Michael, we're not on a cruise. You're quite right. Instead, we're looking outward. Imagine that guest room where you walk through the door, there's the bed, there's everything else you need, and then you continue walking and you make your way to the balcony. Very similar to a cruise ship stateroom. Very interesting to think about it when you think about how they actually constructed the building itself. The A-frame structure used at the Contemporary Resort is extremely unique and makes it an iconic part of the Walt Disney World landscape, but the way they put the rooms together, they actually built them off-site, and then when it was time, they slid the rooms, totally furnished, ready to go, into their slots, into the Contemporary Resorts. The A-frame became the housing for those rooms which were put into place. One of the most iconic pieces of artwork here at the Contemporary Resort is this 7-story amazing mural on the side of the wall here at the Contemporary. This incredible mural was created by Mary Blair, who actually was a part of the Walt Disney Company, and Walt himself picked Mary to help work on many big projects. She was an inspirational factor for many movies like Alice in Wonderland and others. The tiles that you see on the wall were each crafted individually and then put together to create this incredible mural. In 1967, Mary Blair created the amazing Tomorrowland Promenade artwork that you see at Disneyland. The mural itself is amazing to look at from further away, but when you get really close, you can see how it was painted together, and each small brushstroke, you can actually see it if you get really close. The main reason why the Contemporary Resort is located where it is to allow for easy and convenient access to the Magic Kingdom. It's just a walk away. Although the monorail does go through it and you can use it to get to the Magic Kingdom, in my opinion, it's easier and more convenient to walk from Contemporary to Magic Kingdom or back using this walkway. For a resort that opened in 1971, it sure does look modern and up to date, but that didn't happen overnight. There were many refurbishments to the entire resort to make it look like it looks today. Between 1987 and 1989, there was a second major rebuild from the roof to the lobby, where just about everything changed. For a while, there were trees growing right here, hard to imagine, in the center of the Contemporary Resort. There were silk trees at one point. There were some green, lime green, like seating area you can find in the center of this resort. One of the main shopping areas here at the Contemporary Resort is Fantasia, but it wasn't always this Fantasia. The old Fantasia used to have Sorcerer Mickey sitting on a rock, and there was a neon sign up above that said Fantasia. Same general concept with merchandise, but it was totally rebuilt not too long ago right here in the center of the Contemporary. The Contemporary Resort has changed a tremendous amount here at Walt Disney World, but there are some pieces that kind of harken back to the original. Bay Lake Tower is the newest addition here at the Contemporary Resort. This 15-story building was completed August 4th, 2009. It was built where the North Garden Wing rooms used to be, right over here, completely demolished, and built this amazing building. It's exclusive for Disney Vacation Club, DVC. Bay Lake Tower was built with convenience and magic in mind. Not only can you get to the special tower via the sky walkway from the main building to Bay Lake Tower, you also have incredible views of the Magic Kingdom at night. Many of the rooms face the castle so that you can actually see the entire special fireworks show right behind Cinderella Castle from your room. The Contemporary Resort has a tremendous amount of history, but one press conference that took place behind those doors many years ago has really stuck in the minds of Americans for years. On November 17th, 1973, Richard Nixon gave his infamous "I am not a crook" speech to the press right in there. When the Contemporary Resort first opened, the idea of a restaurant on top of the resort was always on the Imagineer's mind. Back then in 1971, it was called the Top of the World Restaurant. Not to be confused with the Top of the World Lounge, which is on top of Bay Lake Tower and reserved for DVC guests. California Grill, as it's known today, was the restaurant up there, and it had some great options. In 1981, Broadway at the Top came to the Top of the World Restaurant and ran until 1993. The performers entertained the guests as they sat back and relaxed, enjoyed their meals at the Top of the World Restaurant. Then it became California Grill years later. A deluxe restaurant here at Walt Disney World, the California Grill, is always extremely popular. Conventions have always been popular here at Walt Disney World, and the convention center here at the Contemporary Resort was built in 1991. It was the largest convention center back then, and it's still very large today. Even since 1991, this convention center has been used and reused and acclaimed for being one of the very best that Disney has to offer. Although it's changed quite a bit since 1971, it's still known by many as Disney's Monorail Resort, or the resort right next to the Magic Kingdom. Thanks so much for being a part of the magic with me today as we take a closer look at the history of this amazing resort. Until next time, have a magical day.